Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are the ultimate power couple. But behind the glamour, this relationship is built on red flags. I'm Jason Silver, the dating coach for ambitious women, and here's the psychology behind why it likely will not last. Travis Kelce has high risk traits. Travis checks a lot of boxes. He's successful, charismatic, great on camera. But from the perspective of whether he can be a healthy long-term match for Taylor, there's several risks. First of all, NFL careers are designed to destroy relationships. 6 month seasons, constant travel, and the very real risk of career-ending injuries or CTE-related personality changes. Almost all NFL players' brains, which have been studied, show signs of CTE, which is a disease linked to repeated physical trauma to the brain. This leads to all sorts of mental and emotional challenges, such as mood swings, explosive anger, depression, and even suicide. 90% of retired players live with chronic pain, and that results in over 3 times higher opiate abuse rates, which can also lead to depression. Players with under 4-year careers may adjust better, but Travis has been in the NFL for 12 years, and that only increases these risks. In addition, Travis has a history of being flirtatious. He's built his entire brand on being this fun and flirty jock. There's been multiple allegations from his ex-girlfriends about him cheating, as well as his very own teammates alluding to his groupie behavior. Combine these rumors with the fact that he's 35, has never been married, you start to see that these red flags add up. But Travis is not alone in his high-risk traits, which bring us to Taylor. First of all, Taylor has an obsessive fan culture, which means there's zero privacy in her life. The Swiftie army is loyal to Taylor, but not her partners. So if Travis ever steps out of line, he's going to face instant backlash from millions. Now, Travis is already under a microscope, and one little misstep could turn her entire fan base against him. Also, Taylor's relationship timeline is notoriously fast-moving, and this kind of relationship hopping is a way to avoid processing real emotions. So if Travis is just a rebound, this is not going to last for life. And finally, Taylor has a habit of framing her exes as villains while portraying herself as the wounded party. Even when breakups are mutual, she subtly paints herself as wrong. Now, this shows signs of emotional immaturity as if she's not fully aware of how she may be placing herself in positions to be hurt. This makes me question if she's learned how to accept responsibility in her personal relationships. On top of all of this, the statistics prove that celebrities have historically poor relationship success. In fact, according to Rolling Stone, up to 90% of top charting artists end up divorced. Touring forces long separation. Creative personalities also thrive on drama, and fame magnifies every flaw. According to Sports Illustrated, up to 80% of NFL marriages collapse. The main issues include depression from retirement, CTE brain injuries, chronic pain, and the loss of identity post-career. But when musicians date athletes, the odds are even worse. Massive egos coming together. There's scheduling being held between tours and their playing schedule. The public scrutiny that comes from being a power couple, and completely different stress languages, meaning artists will typically emote and athletes can compartmentalize. Also, their careers both glorify volatility, with NFL promoting aggression and Taylor's music rewarding emotional drama. The numbers don't lie, and this relationship has a very low statistical chance of success. Also, public scrutiny adds stress. Outside attention chemically and psychologically poisons relationships. The University of Chicago researchers found that couples who know they're being watched by the public eye show 34% less vulnerability to each other. So just think about this from Travis's point of view. He knows that everything he says or does with Taylor can potentially end up on her songs. As a result, Taylor and Travis aren't just dating, they're performing. Every touch, laugh, or argument gets filtered through, how's this going to look on a Taylor Swift song? How's this going to look in Travis's podcast? Cornell psychologists proved that when couples can't control their own story, trust erodes 3 times faster. And the media is incentivized to launch these salacious stories against the couple. Harvard Business School found that celebrity breakups will generate 17 times more profit for the media than weddings do. So the media is actually actively rooting against Taylor and Travis because these divorce rumors equal more clicks. So even neutral events like Travis missing a concert can be framed as the beginning of the end of their relationship. Now, Travis and Taylor's romance is actually a fascinating case study in novelty addiction, not lasting love. Their entire relationship has been a dopamine-fueled sprint from one extraordinary event to the next. and that creates a dangerous illusion of intimacy. Neuroscience shows that shared excitement releases dopamine, mimicking this emotional connection. But Travis attending these Eras Tour stops means that their shared experiences early on were literally performances, these high adrenaline environments where Taylor was in work mode. This creates a parasocial illusion. Travis wasn't bonding with Taylor. He was bonding with a performer that's surrounded by 70,000 screaming proxies for emotional intimacy. And the Superbook is another textbook peak experience. And research shows that couples who over-index on these become chemically dependent on these highs. Notice how they were inseparable after the win, but they didn't have any documented low-key time before the playoffs. This suggests that their dynamic thrives on celebration, not support during stress. And healthy relationships need mundane moments to build resilience. Constant luxury travel is another classic avoidance tactic. And their Bahamas trip, right after Travis's playoff loss, instead of processing that disappointment together at home, they went and escaped to a resort. And studies also show that couples who default to these geographic fixes can struggle with conflict resolution. Their support for one another is often logistical, not just emotional. Taylor attending Chiefs games means watching Travis from a suite with little private interaction. Travis is going on tour appearances, which were these highly produced PR moments. And military couples actually were researched and showed that frequent reunions after absences trigger dopamine spikes, which Travis and Taylor often have. And these spikes actually mask compatibility. They cover it up. For this relationship to survive, they need what I call boring trust, the ability to coexist without stimulation. Right now, their shared calendar is a highlight reel. But love is what happens when the stadium's empty, when the cameras turn off, and all that's left is two people figuring out how to share a refrigerator and the empty space between excitement. Dopamine fades. And when it does, how will they react? Okay, so what does all this mean for Travis and Taylor, and more importantly for you? Well, first of all, here's my advice to Travis. Taylor is not just a girlfriend. She is a woman right now in her prime years for marriage and having a family. So every month that you hesitate is a month that she can't get back. If you wait too long and then break up, you're going to have taken away some of her best years. You're 35, guy. It's not about pressuring you. This is about being mature and really being considerate of what's best for Taylor. And to Taylor, your dating history shows a pattern. You keep giving chances to men who don't step up. And from what we see publicly, you clearly want a long-term relationship, but you're choosing these very volatile guys and you're accepting boyfriend behavior when you really need husband energy. The right man is going to move mountains to claim you, so stop settling for less. Now, for my viewers, if you're seeing some red flags in your own relationship, or if you'd like to attract a long-term committed relationship, I encourage you to apply for my VIP coaching program. Just click the link in the description, and I'll talk to you soon.